What's up? Hi, my name is Kirsty. I am 22 years old and I reside in the beautiful mother city of Cape Town. I actually moved here 4 years ago, and that's where my story began. I grew up as a Christian. I have family who really brought me up with Christian values and stuff like that, but I always had like this deeper question of where else does this go? Do you know what I mean? And from there, I kind of went into high school with the same mindset of where am I going? Like, why am I following Jesus? You know, what is my life going to look like in the next couple of years? And at least I was able to also ask those questions to my parents, and they were very supportive, and they were just like, pray about it, Kirsty, because God will eventually show you the way. So I held on to those words, and in high school I also struggled to sort of fit in really well with friends and stuff like that, because I wasn't always allowed to go out with like friends and do all the teenage stuff. So I kind of kept my head down, invested a lot of time into like my after school activities like drama and theatre and all that stuff. And then I also decided that in matric I needed something like new and fresh, because I wasn't completely happy with the person that I was, and we had spoken about moving overseas a couple of times, and I just felt as though I needed to run away from the person that I'd become throughout high school. And we didn't end up moving to New Zealand, which was a very big part of like what we wanted to achieve. And so I said to my parents that, you know, moving to Cape Town was the next way to go, and I didn't know why, I didn't know how. And so a week after that conversation, I found myself getting on a plane and going to Cape Town in my matric year. It's February, a week before Valentine's Day. And on the plane, I just realized that my life's about to change, and I'm heading to a place where no one knows me, I don't know anyone, and all I have left is myself and God. And so before we landed, my mom was like, I'm just going to pray that you can find someone who's going to just show you, you know, the way, show you to a church, just be the person that like helps you get settled into a church where God can work in your life. And the whole time I was on the airplane as well, I was like, Lord, please just be with me, because you're all I have. You're the only like one that's going to make me feel safe and all of that. So we land and I start my first day of school. And on that first day, I'm sitting at this like lonely little lunch table. No one's really talking to me, and suddenly this guy comes out of nowhere with two of his other friends, and he's like, sorry, but are you Christian? And I was like, yes, I am actually. Why? And he's like, well, why don't you come to youth with me on Friday and like, you know, come check out this church that I go to. And I was like, okay, no problem. And his name was Mario. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but yeah, his name's Mario. Really great guy. Get to church and I start this crazy journey, and like a month down the line, I feel this sudden need to just ask him if Mario was his actual name, because like people were saying that no, it's not actually his name. So I was like, so what is his real name? Why doesn't he call himself by his actual name? And they're like, his name's Emmanuel. And I literally broke down, because like I prayed for God to be with me and in the start of the journey, and immediately like this guy comes up to me, and his actual name was Emmanuel, which means God is with you, you know, God is with us. And from there I just knew that no matter where I went, like God would always be with me in like my trials, in my like quiet periods of life. And I find myself sitting in like places at times where I sometimes do feel alone, but there's a stillness inside of me where I feel like God is always going to be with me. And I've managed to take that still calm, peaceful feeling that He's given me and take it into my workplace and just share it with people around me. And it's been so beautiful because I've had so many, or witnessed so many people come closer to God because of that. And yeah, just the bottom line of it all is that no matter where you go in the world, you don't have to be in church to bring people closer to God. You know, you can bring people closer to God in your workplace. You can bring people closer to God, you know, on the street. In fact, that's a whole nother testimony which I'd love to share another time. But yeah, I think just knowing that God is with you and that the word of God is still alive and well in so many other stories and testimonies that people are sharing, that is how you can continue just, you know, being with God and following Him fully and devoting the rest of your life to Him. So yeah.